Jason.
Danny.
How are we?
Good.
Yeah, sure.
Under a week to go.
Tell what? Another house move?
Holiday, maybe. A holiday from life.
That's not going to be a holiday.
Well, you never know. Maybe this one will be a breeze now. Yeah, I think. Yeah, when this gets uploaded, it should be under a week.
Yeah, because what's due date? The 9th?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's currently the 1st. 8 days.
8 days. But yes, this will go uploaded on the 3rd. On the 3rd of July. We're in July, everybody.
Oh, Christ, we are in July. Halfway through the year. That's wild.
Mental, isn't it?
Oh, where's the time going?
Thick. Well and truly in the thick of it, is what I was meaning to say. Wedding season well and truly underway for everyone. I mean, obviously, it's July, so June and May's probably kicked a lot of arses out there.
I definitely kicked my arse. That's such a busy May.
Yeah.
Like, a really, really busy... I had a busy April, busy May, and not quite as busy June, and again, not quite as busy July, and then it kind of starts to pick up again.
Yeah. I mean, despite weddings not necessarily busy, May and June were very busy for us with house moves.
Yeah.
But we've now both moved house.
We've now both moved house.
So we can
We're in.
So we can move on from that chat.
We
no
can.
one needs to listen to us talk about house moves.
No, they don't need to listen to me talk about all the boxes that are everywhere. And
Well, you've still got them everywhere, though, right?
my wardrobe is currently a suitcase and a bin bag on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
That's how life is right now. Moving house, by the way, with 3 kids is wild.
Yeah.
Like, wild.
But they love it.
I mean, they do. Harry keeps on coming up to me. He's like, Daddy, I love my new house. Which is cute. It's good, though, because they can now, like, we've got the garden and stuff, so you just slide the doors open and boom, they get to run about and play with the outside tap and soak everything.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get some super soakers lined up.
Yeah. Well, I just got one of those. I'm totally just like morphing into like my dad, but it's like a retractable hose thing. So you get like, you screw the fixing onto the wall, and it's got like a little
Wind up thing.
but you don't need to wind up. You just pull it, and it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Fancy.
There you go.
Yeah.
There comes a point in life when certain things get exciting for you, and to be fair,
That's where I'm at.
I can't wait to install a retractable hose in my house. I can't wait to get a pressure washer thing.
Yeah, just because we've got decking and stuff. Apparently, my father-in-law was saying that you don't know what to do it on the decking, so it'll wreck the decking.
Yeah, I just want to do the slabs and stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah.
For those of you that are watching, whenever we get back to uploading onto YouTube, sorry about that. We will get the backdated catalogue onto YouTube at some point. As you know, life's just been a bit hectic. However, we have got these new swanky bottles. These did not cost £50 a bottle. just so we're clear. We realised that was not going to work long term.
No.
So these are a bit cheaper, but arguably, I think they look really good.
I mean, despite this one kind of being off-brand orange, I still like it.
Yeah, it's orange still.
It's in your face, which is what I love about orange anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it's cool.
I would say this little loop on my one is more
That's more
the colour.
Yeah.
They lied to me. They said it was the same colour, and it's definitely not.
Definitely not. But,
Still looks good, though.
it's good. It's nice to have. I mean, the bottles we had there before were great, but as you know, they were overpriced and yeah.
Quality wasn't actually quite
No.
up to scratch. I was surprised for £50 a bottle.
When I saw that writing, flake off, I'm like, you what?
Lift that up a second, sorry. Yeah. Just because it's been a while. Oh, my thumb. Yeah, when the writing was flaking off, I was like, what is going on?
Mm-hmm.
And then they tried to tell me that I'd put it in the dishwasher, and I was like, no.
No,
I didn't put it in the dishwasher.
No.
If you ever get one of these ones, don't put it in the dishwasher either. They're not dishwasher safe.
No, just wash it yourself. Come on.
But yeah, I was really not impressed
No.
with that, and I had to write them a strongly worded email.
Corporate Danny came out.
Oh, that reminds me, I need to write another strongly worded email about the sign, because we've not had that refund anyway. We digress. But yeah, so now that we're settled in our respective houses, we're hoping that things, we're in the process of just trying to find a little bit of routine with like the kids and stuff, which is kind of hard over the summer holidays because we can't get Harry and Brody into nursery until August, and Frankie's not at school until August. So we have the kids like the whole summer.
And I'll have a kid.
And you'll have a kid.
This summer too. So, it's another balancing act. There's just been several months of getting accepted offers and houses, making sure our credit is all lined up, and then the next chapter happens. But, hey, one thing we still kept it going every single week.
We have. And I think that that also I guess shows our commitment to this. Like, we didn't want to not have an episode out. We've been in here at 8 o'clock at night, like the night before sometimes, like when an episode is meant to go live on on a Thursday, so we'd be here on a Wednesday evening and just recording an episode.
Yeah, kudos to you because you're running on very little sleep. I can't relate currently, but you're putting way more effort into this than I am. Like,
well, you're doing a lot of the editing. You're doing all the editing though. So,
hey, again, we digress. We're happy to be here.
It's a team effort.
Yeah,
it's a team effort. Here, give me some. There you go.
We'll get there.
Well done.
Talking of team efforts, you came out with me yesterday.
I did.
To a wedding I was filming.
Side note, I'd had 2 hours sleep.
You didn't? Really?
Because I was on it the night before. I wish.
Yeah. What a picture it was seeing you stroll to the venue. Hello.
Yeah, I was so tired.
I know.
The boys just would not sleep. But yeah, you're like, I need a bit of backup just in case Jane goes at any moment, which she could.
Yeah.
But also we have, not that we've released any yet, just because again life's been so busy, but we've shot a few different BTS behind the scenes at weddings. I think the other 2 that we've shot have been my weddings. Is that right? Yeah. But this one for you we thought it'd be like a really, really interesting one to get some behind the scenes of, because it's I was about to say it's a little out of the ordinary. It's like very out of the ordinary.
It was very different.
So why don't you tell everybody the type of wedding film that you're about to make here? Because you've been dabbling and experimenting recently, and it's been really good.
Yeah, I mean, usually in Scotland, if any couple puts on a photo, I'm like, I'm looking for a specific style, a different theme, something a little bit different from the norm. The normal reaction from people is usually just type my name in, and because I seem to be the only one crazy enough to take it on. Which yesterday proved.
We're getting married on a train. That sounds like an after-go wedding.
Hello. So yesterday's wedding, the couple reached out and they were after a wedding film that resembled an episode of The US Office. So you may have seen some wedding films online that have tackled this niche, this genre before. It's very like a mockumentary style, interviews, little quirky looks to the camera, just not your typical wedding film. And
also, crucially, there's acting required.
There is acting required. Despite what everyone at the wedding may think, they will have to act for this because
for it to work properly.
For it to work like in a humorous way. I mean, otherwise, you could just do a mockumentary style where everyone's happy, but technically that's not mockumentary because that's exactly what happened. So we kind of need
exaggeration.
Exaggeration, yeah. So, there's a few, before taking this on, there's a few things that you kind of need to, make the couple aware of. Like it's, a lot of people hire a videographer because of their discreet nature. Like they're going to just sort of be in and about the thing. If you want
Once you see the BTS, you'll see that this was not discreet.
No, everyone was well aware of me and probably fed up with me by the end of it as well. But I've done a few styled ones. Like we've done a wedding film like Wes Anderson, which is a completely different take from this. And I've done some edits that look like Edgar Wright. And any sort of time where people love a TV show or a type of movie director, there's a lot of different elements that go into the thoughts of how do I put something like this together
as a one-man band.
Yeah, as a one-man band.
Just footnote that there.
Yeah. So there's a lot of ground to cover. There's a lot of things to think about. as you'll see in this BTS when it gets released. So yeah, we're looking forward to showing you that. But what does a US office themed wedding film actually entail? What does it mean for, like, if anyone asks you if you want to do this, what kind of like groundwork do you need to do to get a film like this off the ground, and so that you leave the day knowing that, okay, I can make a film that matches the brief of what this is?
That was a lot of notes.
A lot of notes. But to be fair, the notes were structured in the way where I started the notes with introduction to the guys and introduction to the girls to kind of explain to them what it is I expect of them that day, right? So I had a notes of going, right, these are certain characters that I need from the guys. These are certain characters I need to the girls. So with these notes, I went to the girls and was like, okay, I need someone to resemble this character. I need someone to resemble this character.
And then just give people an idea then like what kind of characters we had here.
Yeah. So for the girls, I needed someone who was a gossip. I needed someone who was really nervous about who they were dancing with at night. I needed someone who was extremely hungover. And I needed someone who was just absolutely obsessed with weddings. So those are the kind of 4 characters I had for the girls. Now, with The Office, there's obviously a lot of like interviews with people. So like we'll go into a quiet room and like ask questions. But essentially, I've got the answers pre-written out for what I want them to do. So they don't necessarily need to do like...
they don't need to think up
the answer. They don't think of the answer.
You just give them it.
Obviously, there's collaboration with them.
Hence the acting.
Yes, exactly. So, yeah, I'm going to be essentially just giving them a line, and they'll just say that back to me, and we'll do it a couple times until we kind of get it to a point where I think it can work. So, yeah, we do that. But then throughout the day, I kind of need them to embody that. So at certain points of the day, I'll ask like the gossip to run up to someone and whisper something in someone's ear. I'll ask the hungover person to just be like passed out in the corner with shades on, just like giving up on life. So that kind of feel is what I was after with those.
To be fair, the hungover guy was great.
He did well.
He done the best, I would say. He got right into it.
It's because he was hungover.
Didn't really have to act.
So yeah, in the morning, I like kind of give out the rules and go, right, who in this room would like embody this character the most? And they all had a laugh, like talking with each other, like, oh, this person would be great for that, this person would be great for that. So they really took it in their stride. But I'm explaining at that point, this is kind of what I need from you throughout the day. But, you know, you've got to remember, like, this is also a wedding day. And as much as they, you know, want this kind of fun film, the bride and groom have wanted this, no one else has really signed up for this. And it's also their wedding day. So they're going to want, like, have their day documented. We're not there to take over it. We're not there to, you know, make it all about this film. There is a wedding happening at the end of the day. So it's important to, you know, make it as...
And you need to, I guess... from my viewpoint of obviously like the BTS, you've done really well just by trying to keep it fun. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? So that it wasn't like a drag. There was obviously some people that weren't into it as much as others, which is always going to happen.
Always going to happen.
I mean, and I'm thinking here, like most parents probably are just going to be like, "What the fuck is this? Just get away from me."
And you know, you always go into like filming a themed wedding like this with that kind of anticipation. That's why I'm even more nervous before filming a themed wedding, because you haven't had a chance to prep a room. In a TV studio, everyone goes there; it's their job. They know exactly what to expect. Yeah. In a wedding, they've been building up this excitement of going to a family member's wedding, seeing all their friends and family, and then some guy in a Hawaiian shirt comes up to them and says, "Hey, I've got a couple lines for you. You just feed them to the camera." In which case, they give you daggers. Like when I did the Wes Anderson one, the celebrant, after I asked I asked the room if they could do something for me. A small 30-second thing. I just wanted them to cheer me. Celebrant comes up to me and goes, "Are you here all day?" Like the energy. Just saps from my body. I'm like, okay, we're gonna have problems.
Unfortunately for you, yes.
I do fear that people think I'm like overtaking the day or taking over the day with this, but you know, my approach is to try and do this as discreet as possible, as take up as minimal time as I can to get what I need, and then let them enjoy the day. And the morning's a great time to kind of get stuff like this, because you know, people are just sort of, they're getting ready, they're having a bit of fun. And you're not taking up all their time. Mm-hmm. But, you know, for me, I was working through this kind of script that I had. So I had obviously directions for people. I had lines that I needed each character to say. And I had like a short list of things that would help emphasize what those characters were about. So although it looked extensive, it was quite, you know, it was quite clear what I needed from it. And at the bottom of it, I had like a running order script so that if I didn't get something, I knew what sections I couldn't work. But I should probably talk about like what, building that script actually looks like. Because if you go into a wedding day like this without any preparation, then it's quite hard to like feed lines to people who aren't actors or who aren't improv specialists. So because you are going to need like, there's going to be some humor here if that's the brief. So you kind of need to write some jokes. Now, I'm not a comedian by nature. So how on earth do you write a script? A good old friend, ChatGPT.
Godfrey. What guy.
I know. What a ledge. So I'm not like just going, write me an office script based on the wedding, enter. That's not how this works because...
Otherwise everybody's getting the same office wedding film.
Right? What I do is I ask the couple who their guests are, who their wedding part is, and ask for some more details, like tell me about like how you decided what you're wearing, tell me about how you met, tell me about the plans for the honeymoon, tell me everything that you can about you. And from there, I've got kind of a list of, sort of quirks in the day, certain things that I can kind of lean into or exaggerate. For example, the mother of the groom actually made all the kilts that the guys were wearing on the day. And I'm thinking, okay, so they're into fashion, they're maybe a fashionista, maybe they're like Edna Mode from The Incredibles. So, and they're like, really...
She was not Edna Mode. She was...
And I kind of, there's a chance that they might not get that.
Yeah, that was funny.
So I'm like, I basically give ChatGPT like each character and what I want them to resemble and some quirks about them. And then I get some things spat out of me, and then I go in and edit that to go, right, this would work. I'll get rid of that.
Yeah.
It'll
give you a lot of crap.
Give me a lot of stuff. It was very Americanized as well, which obviously doesn't really work over here. So I go in and I tweak that. So it kind of gives me a skeleton of a script, and then I can kind of go in and chop and change it. So the end result was that I had something that I can work with, and even if I get like 30 to 40% of that, I've got something that I can do. So allowing flexibility in it. Because the one thing I will say is don't go into this with like really high expectations. Like you are not going to get absolutely everything that you plan because it's a live wedding and they're not there for you. They're there to enjoy the day. Yeah. So
I think you did get a lot of learnings throughout the day though, like about what to do. Kind of going on to that, like people not knowing about it. Do you know what I mean? I think was one of your learnings or takeaways, wasn't it?
Yeah. I'll talk about that after this break. Have you seen Lumix have just announced another new camera, the S12?
Well, I have.
This camera is chock full of features that wedding videographers like you are going to love, including 5.1K open gate at 50 frames a second for the first time.
Incredible slow-mo footage at 100 frames a second in 4K.
Best in class image stabilization.
And also a new and improved hybrid phase detect autofocus.
You can get your hands on this camera by loaning it for up to 48 hours. Just visit the Lumix store.
And if you do decide that this is the camera for you, remember to use code TWVP at the Lumix store for 10% off. That's right, 10% off this brand new camera that we believe is the perfect camera for wedding filmmakers.
In the morning when I went up to the guys, I walk up to the groom and say, right, cool, so you ready for this today? He's like, oh yeah, guys, come over here. So this is Jason, our videographer. He's going to be doing an office type mockumentary of our wedding today. And they're like, oh, cool. I'm like, yeah, so are you guys up for like, I've got a couple characters that I'd like you to do, a couple jokes. And they're like, what, to the camera? Yeah.
That's what I'm here for.
That would be pretty cool. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess we could do that. So obviously no one,
they've been
apart from the bride and groom, despite them telling me that, everyone will be up for this. No one had really communicated with the people that I needed to work with what was happening. So, on the call, I'm obviously explaining to the couple that, yes, we're going to need a little bit of interaction with people because, to make this work, there is going to need to be that kind of, two camera kind of conversation. So it would have been great had I given a list of the characters and the kind of the quirks and the themes and stuff I was working on the day, if I'd given them to the couple a few weeks beforehand and said, right, can you pass this out to your wedding party or give me people that would be great for this? And they did give me some people beforehand, like the MC. They thought, oh, that would be great. He could be, he's kind of in charge of the day. And I'm like, oh, in the US office, that's Dwight Schrute. Like, he's someone who takes his job very seriously. anyone with responsibility, just make them more responsible and over I get. So if they had briefed everyone who I would need at the wedding as to what they're doing, I would have gone in a lot warmer. They would have been, right, I'm ready for this. I've been thinking about this. So they might have even had some ideas of their own to kind of help move it along. And it just kind of gets them excited about it. Obviously, I don't want to make them nervous. So they can, say, nope, not up for that beforehand. And I can just move on from there. So yeah, a lot of prep beforehand with the couple would be would have helped me a lot yesterday.
Yeah, I think as well, probably just getting them to make sure that they let the guests know that you're going to be doing this. Do you know what I mean? But then it's not like a shock. It'll be like, oh yeah, I remember you saying that one or whatever. You know.
The thing is, during the day, a load of guests came up to me saying, "Oh, are you doing office stuff?"
They wanted to get involved.
Yeah, they wanted to actually get involved with it.
But that was definitely as more alcohol had flowed.
Oh yeah, that was definitely later on in the day.
Because once the brave juice is out, then they're more what's the word? They're just fine with it at that point.
Yeah.
Like they find that all the nerves have gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
like I'll leave a wedding day that when I'm not doing a theme, thinking, okay, I've got enough stuff there to kind of tell a story. With this, it's actually more crucial to get certain points to be able to tell a story. Otherwise,
yeah, exactly.
It doesn't actually resemble an episode.
Because if you only get one half of whatever you need, then it's just a waste of time.
Yeah, I mean, if I get certain interviews and then nothing happens that kind of relates to that interview, it's kind of pointless putting it in. And that's what I found with some of the questions that some of the answers that I've been given in the interviews, and we never really got any more footage of that happening. And that was not necessarily my fault. It was just I'm really conscious of letting the people enjoy their day. So trying my best to just, fit in when I can, and at night getting some footage of people, being their character if I can.
One thing though, I mean, like, because you weren't with people very long, like in the grand scheme of it, because like you maybe had like 4 things that they had to say. I think was maybe the max at one point.
Yeah.
And then that was it. And then you're like, right, that's you, great, thank you. And then off you pop, and you would go to somebody else, and you wouldn't really go back to that person again, maybe until later on in the day, if you needed to, kind of thing. So it's not like there was a massive time sink there.
Yeah. Well, again, these people aren't actors, right?
Although you and Lewis kept on calling them characters.
Well, I mean,
Lewis, the photographer, is that I think the hungover character is over there, and I'm like, these are wedding guests. They're not characters.
Because I was so involved with what I was doing, I kind of got to know people through. Okay,
where's Gossip Girl? Where's Gossip Girl?
I asked another bridesmaid, right? Where's our gossip for today? She's over there.
Oh, it's funny.
So yeah, you got to know them through that. I definitely should have done a better job of getting their names and then doing that. But
hey, Gossip Girl.
But they loved it. They
got right into it, and you even had, like I said, you had like people that were not involved at all. They were like, "Can I be in it? What can I do?"
Yeah.
And you had the couple that had basically I spied them, and they had obviously like taken a couple of bottles of wine from like the table, and they've got it like hidden under a jacket, and they're walking out all suspicious. And I was like, add them in, go and film them, and add them in. And then he ad-libbed some stuff, didn't he?
Yeah, he ad-libbed some stuff.
Was that good?
No.
Was it nonsense? Was he too steaming?
Yeah, he said like, oh, I'm going to say something about like, being Jake's mum's +1 because we're lovers. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. He says, hi. Like, oh, so what are you doing here today? Like, I'm at this wedding. Okay, were you invited? Yeah, I was invited. I was with Jake's mum. We know each other way back. I was like, oh, how do you know each other? Oh, we're lovers. When I said like, oh, how was the wine? Wine's nice. Yes. Like, oh, we're like,
oh, that because he came back over it. He's like, what have you heard?
But so yeah, the guys that sold the wine, I filmed them going away, and then I was like, right, where's the Gossip Girl, right? And then I went to the Gossip Girl, and I was like, hey, have you heard? Someone stole some wine. It's like, did you know who stole the wine? So that will work with them walking away and the gossip going.
So
like,
she right, okay.
So she said, who stole the wine? as the day went on, people really went into it, and you can ad lib things when people want to be involved. You can go, right, so who are you? What do we know about you? What can you talk about? And then you can kind of like come up with some ideas. One of the best jokes of the day, actually, ChatGPT didn't even write. It was just me ad libbing with the gossip girl about what she could gossip about. And it was like how the maid of honor is the bride's sister, and I was like, well, maybe she's not the bride's sister. And I was like, lean into that. Like, yeah, I'm not even convinced she's the bride's sister.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that was just ad libbing with people. So it's just, and yeah, there was something else in the day where I'm like, oh, this just came to me.
You were quite good at that, like
Yeah.
just coming up with stuff on the fly. Like I wouldn't have the time. I think as well because at the same time you're obviously talking to my camera because we're doing BTS for it, but then you're having to be looking at your script plus filming away. It's a lot.
The one thing is that it could be quite easy to get stressed out because you're not following your structure that you've learned for years. Like if you've been doing this for a number of years, you know where and when to be and kind of how your progress bar is going throughout the day. Like by the time the ceremonies come, you've got enough groom prep, you've got enough bridal prep, you've got the ceremony room and stuff. But I was on a different schedule. So by the time the ceremony goes, I'm thinking, how many interviews have I got?
But it's very different doing a theme wedding film like this because that's the key is that you're not there for coverage necessarily. You kind of need to get the coverage idea out of your head. Like there's obviously some stuff that you have to capture, of course, but you're there with an agenda of making a themed film. So it's like your brain has to work differently than it would do at a normal wedding where you're maybe there for coverage or whatever,
That's the thing. Like normally you'd see something happening and you go, oh, I'll need that. But actually that's not got a place in this film.
Yeah.
So there's a few things that I sort of ignore and I just go, no, I'd rather get some people doing this. So it is just trying to rewire the way you work. So if you do end up doing something like this, don't worry that you're not kind of following the typical pattern. Obviously, if you aren't capturing enough of the theme, lean more into the typical structure because you're going to have to create something at the end of this and it has to make some sort of sense. So, but I feel like, and I've had this before, like this is my second office themed wedding that I've done. The first couple, 2 weeks after the wedding, decided that they'd rather just have a normal wedding film. They wanted just something at the end of it. Maybe someone spoke to them and was like, actually, it would be good if you just had a normal film. And I totally get that. However, I'd filmed a full office film, but caught enough to make a normal wedding film as well.
Lucky.
So, but I mean, that I could do the same for yesterday as well. Yeah. But there's enough footage there that I could create something if I really wanted to. So, but hopefully hopefully I make it quick enough so that they can change their mind because I'd really like to get one out there. But yeah, it was good fun. But just bear in mind that these people aren't actors; they haven't signed up for this, and if they're not great at acting, that's okay because the people who will get a real kick out of it will be the couple who watch their people speak on camera.
Yeah. I think looking at it, the Wes Anderson style of filming would be much easier because you're using an AI narrator as the audio.
Yeah, I mean, with the Wes Anderson film that I did, I created the story after I filmed it.
Yeah.
So all I knew for Wes Anderson, with the Wes Anderson film, I had like a kind of script beforehand. Like there were some shots I knew I needed. Like I really had this great idea of them both waking up in different beds, but like symmetrical. So waking up at the same time and starting their day and having them both side by side. So I tried to both get them doing the same things in the morning. And there was some sort of like kind of structure, but realistically, when I make that full film, I'll be creating a narration based on what I saw in the day. And to a degree, it was easier filming that because it is just static shots of things that I need, but it got really hard to kind of do the Wes Anderson style when it came to things like dancing and stuff like that.
Composition and stuff.
And it was also a lot harder with the photographer because it was great working with her, but like I need a lot in those moments.
Yeah.
And when we're time pressure, that didn't really work. So really communicating with the photographer about what you're doing, because I was also conscious yesterday of the photographer's workflow and how I needed things to be silly and he needed things to not be silly.
Yeah.
So, really good communication there kind of goes a long way. But when I told him in the morning what was happening, it was he was right up for it too.
Yeah.
So yeah, a themed wedding, it's fun to do, but it requires so much extra work on the pre part. So if you do get like an opportunity, and on the day, it's definitely a lot harder to do on the day. A lot more work goes into it. So if you do get a wedding proposal like this, like it might be fun to do, but just factor in the amount of extra work that you're going to have to do to make it happen. I'd probably say the editing is probably the easiest part of this, especially with the Wes Anderson film, because I remember halfway through the day going, there's probably like 4 shots that I've filmed that won't make it in because everything else had a purpose.
Yeah.
The Office theme, not so much. That's kind of a hybrid of coverage and story.
Yeah.
Because you are looking for that kind of mockumentary kind of, just what's actually happening here. So, still delivering your wedding films by USB?
Ew.
We use VidFlow, the sleekest platform for delivering your wedding films. It makes your couples feel like they've got their own private Netflix.
Plus, with their white labeling service, you can customize everything from the branding to the custom domain, so you can make it super personal.
Want to wow your clients? Use the code TWVP10 to get 10% off all pro plans, including white labeling service.
Head on over to vidflow.co today and level up your wedding film delivery experience.
Let's talk about backlog.
Woo!
Editing piles up fast and is overwhelming.
That's why we use brideandgroom.video, a wedding editing company that delivers stunning wedding films faster without compromising on quality.
If you're looking for an editor that's going to match your unique style so it feels like you've made them, you found them.
Use code TWVP75 at checkout to get £75 off your first order and try out their service.
Clear your backlog and grow your business. Try brideandgroom.video today.
Hasta la vista, backlog. Were there any other takeaways?
So I think when it comes to directing people to like talk to camera and stuff like that, just remember that it's a live setting and the microphone can kind of hear everything. So the first time I did an office wedding, I did interviews in the same room as people, where there was like hair and makeup and stuff happening. But if people are in the same room, the other's going to laugh immediately because it's awkward and it's different. They're going to laugh and people can't seem to control the laughter with that. So if you're looking for like a serious kind of deadpan execution, like everyone else in the room should pretend that this is normal. You need to brief, if you're giving one person an instruction, you need to tell everyone in the room to pretend that this is normal, right? And don't break because otherwise it kind of loses it. So there's a scene where I get the hungover guy to offer people wine and they all say no, so he just like downs the bottle and walks out of the room. As soon as he puts the bottle to his mouth, everyone in the room just breaks character and laughs. And obviously I'm in the moment too, and I'm like, oh, that was funny. But of course, now I've got a shot where, he's meant to be dead serious, but everyone's laughing. And everyone's having a great time. But for the film, it's not. I mean, it'll probably be funny for them. I might be overthinking it. So
I think it'll still work.
It'll work.
I think it'll still work.
It'll work. But yeah, so just bearing in mind that it's not just the person on screen that is, is in character. Everyone else should be there too. Give people time. Like, if you don't want them to look at the camera, like, be really clear with your instructions with what you want people. And just be patient. Like, if it takes 2 or 3 times to get it, that should be fine. If anyone kind of, like, gives you, like, oh, I'm not really feeling this, like, just tell them everything that you need and go, right, is there anything here that would be easy to do? So for the mother of the groom, wasn't necessarily, like, buzzing about being on camera.
No.
But, I kind of said, right, so you made the kilts today, right? Oh, that's amazing. So, like, you've got like key sets of fashion. I'd really like to lean into that. We'd like you to kind of like, so essentially with this, it's you, but over exaggerated. So, we're going to pretend that like, you've been to like Milan Fashion Week and stuff. And, like this is just like Milan Fashion Week, but it's Perthshire. And of course they might not say the exact way you want, but, as long as you get something, it
will still fit.
Yeah, it'll fit. It'll fit. So, yeah,
that's the thing is, it's not going to be like an episode of The Office because they're dealing with actors and stuff. But if it's like Office themed, do you know what I mean? So like they'll still be able to see the what's the word that it's been inspired by The Office, you know.
Well, this is it. When I left the venue, the groom walked me to my car. I was just talking about it, and he was like, "Look, we're not expecting an episode of The Office. We just want something to laugh at."
Because they just didn't take themselves seriously at all, did they?
Yeah, so that's why they wanted something a little bit different. You know, they wanted a wedding film to kind of see their guests, but they just wanted a bit of a laugh with it too. They weren't properly into being like romantic with each other and stuff. So they just want something different, which is what I'll be able to make them from everything I've captured today.
Oh, you'll definitely be able to do that. No bother at all.
So yeah, it should be good, but definitely don't go in thinking that you're walking into a studio environment where everyone is ready at the drop of a hat what to do. You can do as much work beforehand as you want, but ultimately they're there to enjoy a wedding day. So
this is it.
That's the fun and games with it, and then hopefully you can amaze them with what you come out with. Oh, also, just like, you're not usually the first person to do a themed wedding like this. Like, if you are, then kudos to you, but just watch as many examples as you can and get some inspiration of how people made this story flow. So
I mean, after watching you, it's definitely not for me. Like, it was a lot of work.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's perfect for like you and, you know, your brand and stuff. So I think I'm excited to see how, like, the more and more you do them, because you'll just continue to get better at them.
Well, this is it. So obviously, since posting the Wes Anderson one, I've got 2 more of them. I've got another Office.
We should do a BTS of that.
Yeah, so obviously made some bookings from that. Like, TikTok's actually been really good for these themed weddings because they work better than like kind of a traditional wedding films because it's something different. No, I mean, there's still music, but usually the music isn't as popular as kind of like the.
You want to hear the audio.
Yeah, that's usually kind of distracting to it. So, and I know the Office one will do quite well on TikTok as well because it's just different. So, yeah, it's quite good for getting your name out there and you know, it's.
Definitely for like an alternative style like wedding film.
Yeah,
it's like class.
Yeah,
it's just definitely not for me.
And I don't recommend it to everyone because it's my mind was running.
So
wild.
I was watching you. I was tired watching you.
Yeah,
like, and you weren't even moving. You were just thinking, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, just piecing it together in my head.
Yeah, just making sure you had everything, checking back in the script, looking for Gossip Girl, like.
Yeah, so
it's a lot.
Yeah,
I've just got shots of you, just kind of like passing the camera and just kind of like walking about. And just like, you must have got a power of steps in yesterday.
Most likely did. Yeah. But to be fair, like, my mind does tend to like go kind of crazy on a wedding day with just trying to think of what's something different we can do, what's something fun we can do.
I'm looking forward to and seeing what you come up with. I think it'll be really good. And obviously also the BTS as well. We'll get the BTS. That'll probably be our first BTS that we release. Because I think it'll be a really interesting one just for people to see.
Yeah. We'll let you know when it's out, but if you want to subscribe to the YouTube channel just now, you can do. Just head over, search That Wedding Videographer Podcast, and it will be there.
Yeah. Along with the backlog of all the other ones that we're yet to put up, but yeah, we will get to that.
Yeah.
But yeah. Any questions though you want to fire Jace about what it's like, or if you've got one coming up and you want some tips, he's your man.
I'll happily help you out.
I'll send you him.
I'd definitely say get a second shooter as well, just to kind of capture the core stuff. Like that, encourage that, because it just, if you know if the core stuff's captured,
takes pressure off.
You can just focus on getting the creative stuff. So
I think that should really be a necessity, to be honest. Whenever anybody books it, you say, well, if you're going to do that, you need a second shooter.
Yeah, I did have a second shooter for the Wes Anderson, but they had to cancel it. But because I would have saved my bacon on a few things. But yeah, it would definitely be helpful because you need someone just doing the core work so that you've got something to fall back on.
Just one less thing to think about.
100%. So yeah.
Top tip. Well, that's been That Wedding Videographer Podcast. I've been Danny.
I've been Jace.
See you next week.
See you.